pretty important for Tundra that Topson can make sure the formation is where they want it, can set the fight up for the Enigma and the Troll to not get jumped first and get bursted. Thunder God's Wrath is going to be a really pivotal spell in these team fights. Cancel the Shaker Blink potentially. There's a lot that Topson can do to disrupt that burst potential from XG, but he has to be able to do it and not be getting jumped himself. The vision going to be huge here for both teams, as the Clinks is going to want to scout it, the Ench is going to want to frontline, and Topson's going to want to make sure this ult goes off at the perfect time to negate that counter initiation.
All right, elimination on the line for Xtreme. Tundra still trying to get themselves a spot in the upper bracket. We didn't really talk about the upside for Tundra, since obviously elimination is the bigger threat here. But Tundra, who are 5-3, they get a 2-0 here. They're guaranteed to have an upper bracket placement or a tiebreaker for upper bracket placement, as they're currently tied out with Heroic and OG at a score of 5-3. So very, very likely. I suspect either Heroic or OG is likely to drop a game in a series. So if Tundra can keep it clean, I think they've got a upper bracket spot with their name written on it.
Be big for this team. A lot of confidence for the rest of the year. And maybe asserting themselves within that European scene is not as shaky as some people have perception-wise. A big deciding match. 9 class
Avalanche comes through. Tundra will take away a bounty rune from Xtreme. So 3-for-1 split.
Nice little start for them. I think this offlane for Tundra is maybe going to be the most difficult on paper. Like, the Enigma can be good here, but he is going up against Enchantress who can steal Eidolons, a Clinks who can eat them, and a lot of just like all-in potential off a rundown scenario that Enigma doesn't really counteract too well, especially if his Eidolons are getting killed.
Shin-Q does some Fisher blocking on the other side, so Earthshaker Timbersaw is kind of an old school combo, just because Earthshaker is one of the heroes that can usually set Timbersaw up for a little bit easier solo experience. So maybe thanks to the Fisher blocking, pulling the lane back and such, we'll be able to give XXS a little bit of a solo opportunity in lane.
This lane's not weak. It is not one of those classic double melee lanes that just gets owned. It has a lot of lane disruption, a lot of burst damage potential. Very obnoxious lane to lane against. I expect them to do better than I think most melee lanes would versus the Troll Shen. If they can keep messing with the equilibrium, mess with some pulls. Though Jin-Q does give this small camp here, and it is a ghost creep, which will pay off for Whitemon over the long run if he wants to keep it alive.
I just saw something pretty cool. XM, you know those situations where there's like 2 creeps at the exact same HP? It seems like they're going to die around the same time. And so he took the last hit on one of them, and then he aggroed onto Topson and pulled the creep toward him and away from the creep wave that would have killed it otherwise. First blood, though, I'm focusing on the minutia when we've got first blood on our hands. Toby will take that one. So that off lane that had the potential to go wrong for Tundra has already started off very right.
A back kill. Unable to start counteracting these Eidolons, and they're build up pretty fast. Nice little pickup for Toby there. Looks like he's gonna do okay over the long run with that gold injection. They have the big camp too. They're getting a pull off. Yeah, this offlane's going pretty damn solid for Tundra so far. In fact, all the lanes are looking pretty stable for him, which is scary. You're given a Chen lineup of strong early game. You got a Harpy and a Ghost creep up top. Jeez, man. Whitemon living the dream.
Oh yeah, and they're gonna do some damage to XXS, who has already had to go early levels of reactive armor. So this is not going to be your 440 Timbersaw. No way you can actually do that in a Chen troll lane, I think.
Way too much harass. This Harpy's going to do some damage over the long run.
Jin-Q will steal it, thanks to Fisher stunning up the Chen. Oh, got a courier too. That floats right on by to XXS.
I need some small wins here. This is not a team in XG that's going to go down easily in this laning phase, even if things aren't going perfectly for them. It looks like Toby wants Urn on the Enigma, so an aggressive Enigma build. It's going to be the auras for Whitemon, so he kind of has more flexibility there. If the Chen's going to get the mech and the Greaves and potentially pipe, this Enigma can go Urn into a Vessel, help give them some anti-heal for the Lesh and the Timbersaw here. Makes a lot of sense. And that mid game's going to be really strong for them.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Almost have the top 3 CS for Tundra. Enigma is a little bit farther behind, but he also has 5 denies. Not to mention, well, I was going to say not to mention the demonic. I forgot demonic summoning doesn't kill creeps anymore.
Structures are fortified.
Nope. Does have that first blood gold though, so
Yeah.
he's doing just fine. All 3 lanes going well for Tundra here. And they don't really want to break this down either. They kind of just want to keep playing these lanes. Maybe you get a cheeky roll mid with the Tiny, but I think you're happy to play around the Enigma down here too. Especially with early Urn. Toby wants to fight. He wants to get some kills, get some Urn charges up. Maybe he's trying to all in this Enchantress, so would not be surprised if Tundra just play the lane straight up. You can rotate Whitemon through the gate. That's another move they have, but that's about it. The
other side of things, definitely expecting Xtreme to move around very soon. For the 6-minute power rune, I'm expecting both DY and Jin Q to rotate towards mid, right? Because that is the one advantage that they do have, is maybe a little bit better fighting over runes and a little bit better ganking for the mid lane, especially since they have Fisher stun. Nice toss back. Ame being blocked out by Eidolons and heroes alike. It will go down.
That's a huge kill. You got the 2 Urn charges to work with now on Toby. Yep. You have Catapult pushing in. You have another Eidolon summon up. This is a huge pressure point for Tundra. This is where I would not mind that gate rotation from Whitemon, because now you have the opportunity bottom to make it work super well, and you have the Clinks TPing back into this. If there's not help here for XG, Tundra are just gonna break this lane open and break this game open off this move.
God, double Mud Golems coming in. Are gonna toss some shards around, that's for sure. 9 class still going for the toss back on Ame. Got him, throws him over to Toby. Ame trying to make a breakthrough through the trees. Oh, and a Zeus ultimate added on top of that will surely ensure both kills. Maybe not, actually. The Fisher may have just saved Ame's life. Whitemon gets a bit low, but will survive. The shards are still being thrown out. If he gets the toss here, if he has vision, he'll get him. Yes, the small golem gets thrown in. A shard golem anymore? Oh, he's out of ammo. They're all on the cooldown. 9 class is going for the avalanche. He catches up, hits the avalanche, and gets the kill. Ever so barely. It took every single bit that 9 class had to get that one. He will die in exchange for it, but well worth it, man. They just did some serious damage to Xtreme and to a very important hero. We said a lot of this game is going to bank on Ame's Clinks, a very volatile hero. And it seems like that volatility is playing against Xtreme right now.
This hero's just so susceptible to numbers in the laning stage. Like, Clinks is awful. He's a terrible trialing hero. And basically the same principle applies, is if you bring numbers to him, he does not deal with them well at all, because his early levels are just, they're trash. Like, he needs level 6 to 10 to become a real hero. So if you fight him during this period, like, he throws a tar bomb on you, and I mean, cool. Like, what does that do in these multi-skirmish exchanges? He's gonna get caught
kill,
again.
but Ame's just gonna die for this one. Topson, he's gonna try and get both of these here. Needs a little bit more mana. And nice body blocking. I mean, Whitemon's, the way Whitemon is playing this Chen right now, it doesn't look weak, that's for sure. It doesn't look like a team that only had a 50% win rate with it at Elite League. They look like they're pretty on point. Whitemon's a good Chen player.
I think his bottom lane just opened it up, though. Like, the way that 9 class and Toby played this is just set everything up in this game. It enabled that rotation. It gave him the opening on the Clinks with the first kill. Thunder God's Wrath just opened it up even more. And Ame has been super punished in this early game. He is sitting at level 4.5 at the 8-minute mark. And probably wondering where the hell he's supposed to go right now.
Now, I'm pretty sure we've talked about this, and I think you hate it. We're going to see the Battle Fury build for the Troll in this game rather than the Maelstrom, which would have been more effective against the Timbersaw, at least for sure.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, but I mean, you get a fast Battle Fury, it's still a fast Battle Fury.
DUI tossback, 9 class, just finding all kinds of openings. These tossbacks, man, he's killing it.
This is getting out of control for XG. Tundra's just running away with this, and they have a lineup where if you give them this start, like, they are never going to look back. Yeah, maybe Troll is a Battle Fury, but he can afford to go Battle Fury because he's going to have so much early fighting power between Phylactery, Zeus, Mech Chen with Penitence, Toby with Fast Vessel. How are you going to fight these heroes when they start manning up for objectives or doing early Roshan, even an early 2-man Roshan with just Chen Troll? Is potentially here for Tundra. Yeah. You're nowhere close to the Shaker Blink. You're nowhere close to, you know, some big fighting item on one of these cores. And like, what is Ame gonna do here, man? He's just killing small hellbears. Level 5, hoping no one finds him. And guess what? They found him. Another death for the Blink.
Out of deathpack charges, another kill for Topson. And this gets so much worse because, like, they're putting a lot of pressure on the Clinks and such, but it's also getting Topson so far ahead that I don't know how XM gets to play good Dota here. Because I think the Leshrac in this game looks good if it's ahead and he has, like, Bloodstone, he's running into the Chen army and the Enigma Eidolons, and he's just Bloodstone healing up. But I think there's a real chance he just gets popped by Topson by this early Phylactery pickup and the early Spirit Vessel that Toby is going to have.
I don't think he is going to be able to join those fights. I mean, maybe he can go, like, I was going to say some Yule's build because it is a good Yule's game, but you just don't see it on Lesh anymore and it doesn't scale. You need the Bloodstone, but you're building the Bloodstone into the Vessel, into the Zeus, and it does feel bad. Actually, we'll get some tower pressure here and start a push of their own with the Ench. Something Chen doesn't respond to too well here. Here wants to defend it.
And you're not afraid.
Yeah, the fact he can says something. Gonna lean Topson up there as well. He's farmed. Really farmed on this Zeus.
Well, time to play for Blink Dagger timing. Jinkyu, he's working on that 900 gold right now, but a wraparound from behind. Toby with the Eidolons gets in front of Jinkyu, and they'll punish the Earthshaker for trying to take some farming time there, and that'll also put Toby over the edge to get his Blink Dagger right now.
Yeah, just a perfect move. Natural move after this tier 1 bottom goes down. You make that mid rotation. Punish the support for trying to linger there. And just an easy tower push for this Chen Enigma lineup. Mech already done for Whitemon. Game has looked very crisp so far. And yeah, that blink done for the Enigma already. A lot of extra team gold off these objectives.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, this is going to be a quiet game for Xtreme for quite some time, I feel like. They're actually going to go for a smoke between Jinkyu and XM. But I almost feel like they can't really do anything until Blink Dagger. Maybe I'm wrong about that. They hit a Fissure, split Earth, then I don't know what else they need to hit, frankly. That's not enough to kill Zeus.
Yeah, you can't run into the Zeus. Maybe you find a quick support. They will get an amp damage rune for XM. Minor victory here. That is about the only thing that's gone right for them so far. They just have to get the Shaker Blink. Lineup's too dependent on it.
9 Clash just throws out the Avalanche, takes some CS away from the Leshrac. Kai is done, so is Battle Fury though for the Troll, so it is a 12.5 minute Battle Fury phase boots. My goodness.
Yeah, that is pretty scary here as, you know, Ame, he's flying out half his Maelstrom right now.
God,
he's not going to accelerate at the same pace.
Dude, that spray is it's so distracting, man. He's just staring at your ass. I'm surprised I haven't seen more of this, frankly. It is I don't know how you look away from that thing. XXS. He tries to defend the bottom tier 2 and will be fine to do so. Though again, Spirit Vessel is going to be built by the Enigma, which is going to counter both the Timbersaw and the Leshrac.
And where do you go if you're XG? I don't feel like there's that many moves. Maybe you can catch this troll. It's about like the one opening you're gonna have because Pure is gonna play alone. He's gonna want to put this Battle Fairy to use. But you're gonna have to just find him with like a fissure into Split Earth connection, and then you have to do it through potential Hand of God, which is coming up for Whitemon here. It's just not an easy task. And until you have the Shaker Blink, I don't think you can make the smoke play into the Zeus. So XG's moves are very stifled right now.
Oh, a smoke, and the trees are cut down too, so they push forward just a little bit. They'll see Ame, they see him now. They're just gonna blink on him, I assume just straight up black hole him. Chaining the disables a tad bit. It gives him an opportunity to get off the death packs, but all it means is that Topson will collect the kill rather than Toby or 9Class.
And again, there's just no move XG can make to make up for these deaths on the map. They just have to accept them. Tundra know this. They should continue making the aggressive plays, the aggressive smokes. Farming up with the Chen. This is where Chen can pull ahead of every other support in Dota. When your team's ahead, they're making moves, and you get the farm on Chen, it's the dream. You just get insanely fat on this hero. That is what's happening. I mean, Whitemon is climbing the net worth chart here.
Yeah, he has mech, he's gonna get pipe, you'll get Greaves, and you're gonna have a damage problem. We talked about the potential for the Clings to be able to burst down heroes. It's not gonna be the case when you're this far behind and you're matched up against a Chen with a huge amount of heal to put in.
The problem this hero creates, you mess up these games a little, Chen has a good start. The hero's just terrifying.
Also, I forgot, but wait, Tiny, 9Class? He wants to get the toss and get away. Tossed him over the cliff into the troll. What a toss from 9Class. A TP in from Tundra that enables it, and they'll collect both these kills, both of which Pure will secure the last hit. A double kill for him.
And the D ward. I mean, that is just a disaster of a move for XG. Get nothing out of it, waste the Echo Slam, doesn't even connect on the Tiny. They're gonna get the Timber as well off some Centaur Stomps. Beautiful map gameplay from Tundra here.
Clinks versus Chen. How much is that matchup a counter? Yeah, you can eat the creeps, but Chen also has this crazy divine favor, which when he levels it up, gives a hero a ton of armor. 18 armor. Isn't that going to be really bad for Clinks?
Yeah, I mean, it's bad for everything. Part of what makes this hero pretty dumb is his scaling is just out of control. Like, he just scales better than almost any hero in the game in terms of an actual support. Making your cores invincible is a pretty good spell in Dota. And I also go back to this point of, like, you know, they gave this Chen and they answered the creeps a little bit, but I don't think Chen's about the creeps in the fight or on the map. He just uses the creeps to farm, to build the auras, and the auras and the armor and the heal is the issue with this hero. That's the part you have to figure out if you want to beat Chen, and we just haven't seen teams figure that out. And I don't think you eating one of his creeps is going to change that situation. So you're right, XG are going to have damage problems here, which is where it comes down to. You got to land these like big Echo Slams. The Shaker is the hero that can make up for that, that can turn that group up against Tundra, chain stun the Chen, let you 100 to 0 him before he pops those auras. And the blink is done for Xinkyu. He does manage to find it in this game. See what he can do with it here. Not an easy position to have to try and find an opening. But if Tundra plumps for an objective, it will give you that chance.
Yeah, I'm pretty skeptical of it because I feel like a lot of the Earthshakers I've seen over the last year or two from a support position, even when they hit that Echo Slam, it just doesn't seem to do enough damage. Heroes just have too much HP nowadays. So I feel like even if he does manage to catch the Chen army or the Enigma or something, it's that by itself will not win you the team fight.
No. The other issue here is like Tundra can just farm. They don't have to group. They can just get the next set of items, which, you know, like BKB on Pure. They can get a pipe on the Chen if they can get a BKB on the Enigma. And then all this spell damage you have on XG, it just doesn't even reliably win you that fight anymore. Blink done for 9 class as well means you can also interrupt that Shaker blink, and you go with the Shaker, the Tiny just goes in and avalanches you, and you're not chain stunning anybody.
Smoke up. And up to the top lane they go. Now, nobody important is really here from Xtreme. There's no cores farming up here. It's just DY Enchantress being a nuisance. Well, I say that. 9 class. TP's in, and DY isn't even going to be found. But Tundra, this is a 2-for-1. Or maybe that's not quite the right phrase, but, you know, if they don't get a kill, they'll get Roshan. It's all the same.
Very fast Roche. Very easy Roche. You can scan it all you want. It's not going to change the situation. They're going to gate and look for Ame bottom.
I love when teams do this. Here. Thunder God's Wrath is going to reveal Ame. They've already got him. They're going to get more too. They're probably going to get Jinkyu as well. Jinkyu trying to blink, but he is spotted by Topson. Topson doesn't have a lightning bolt though, so that was still on cooldown. Couldn't stop the TP out, but they got the bigger kill. That's going to be the carry. Love when teams are confident about their Roshan take and go hunting for more.
Well, this is turning into one of those Clinks games that XG fans did not want to see. The hero is either firing on all cylinders or getting fired upon. And I don't think we're going to see the Clinks in game 2. One of those games. Tundra just exposing his hero. I mean, the Zeus matchup is also just so rough for this hero because he wants to be able to rat, and maybe you can make a comeback by killing some waves deep, being really annoying. You can't catch him, but Zeus just always finds him, always gives you that little vision you need to know where he is and seal his fate. I mean, just can't run from heaven.
It's true.
And heaven is coming for your base.
We've seen Ame in this position before, and he's managed to win these games, where, as you said, he's been able to rat it out. He's really, really good at this part where he's got the Burning Barrage, and he just one-shots creep waves, and is farming Ancients on your side of the map. But you're absolutely right. The Zeus makes that a way more difficult task, especially when you do not have BKB. And if Tundra wanted to, they could hunt him down right now, but instead they're going to go for some objectives. They very efficiently take tier 2 bottom, tier 2 mid. Now they're probably going to be looking at taking that tier 2 top and potentially the Wisdom Rune, though looks like Jinkyu's going to get there in time.
Honestly, XG have found a decent amount of farm while all this group up is happening, which is kind of inevitable in the modern age of Dota. Like, the map's too big. You group up for objectives, they're just farming a ton of camps. So they are finding some big core items on their heroes. Bloodstone for the Lesh, Eternal Shroud for the Timber, make him really tanky as a frontliner. You still have this Shaker Blink that can maybe win you a fight. Like, this game isn't out of reach for them, but it does feel like the Chen clock is ticking. I feel like if Whitemon gets the pipe, a lot of that comeback potential goes out the window. It's just going to negate way too much of your damage. Once more, the Wrath comes through, scouting the map, sends Ame flying, and XM back to base.
Ame has completed Gleipnir. Does that change enough for Xtreme that they are willing to take a fight? It seems like they're setting up for it with 3-man smoke behind the last track. They get jumped upon though. 9 class hits the avalanche immediately. Great fast reaction by him. They still need to finish up this Timber Saw though. XXS trying to get away, but the Zeus lightning hands will go to work thanks to his Shard Manta build that he's already got, and they eventually kill DY's Enchantress.
Eternal Shroud too. I don't know how this bench got an Eternal Shroud in the team, but And it took him a little bit. Nonetheless, sick avalanche by 9 class heals that fight completely. There's just no Echo Slam potential. It's still up though. We even got to see it this game. I mean,
seriously, this could just be Elena Barracks Xtreme. May not want to keep playing this one out. The rate this is going, Pure still has his Aegis, of course. Going for the kill. XM, they're going to start buying back. XM does have the Bloodstone, keeping himself alive. There goes that Echo Slam. A big hit, but the Black Hole stopped him from dealing the finishing blow. Topson and Whitemon get away with just a sliver of HP. They are going to leave the Troll behind here. A Troll that is actually straight up dead. It took some heavy buyback. Jinkyu and Ame both had to buy back. They had to hit the Echo Slam, but they do manage to stop the Tundra bully that was happening.
very pivotal fight. They didn't even lose the tier 3, honestly. Well worth it for XG there. I think they're happy with that outcome. You're not going to really get an Echo Slam except off a buyback dive situation like this. Tundra are so deep off this Lesh attempt that even though they run, Jinkyu can still connect. He hits 4 with the damage. A bunch of skeletons there as well. That's just a huge amount of damage, and he almost got both off that fissure stun. If he got Topson there too, that would have been massive. Lucky to escape. Shaker making his presence felt in this game at pretty much the edge of where XG could play and still come back. So they still have a chance in this game. I mean, they're still behind. Pure is still big, but that's a big comeback fight. They're going to get an Ags on the Timber off that. More time for Ame to farm. A third Eternal Shroud being built by XM. And he did end up getting that Yule, so 3 Eternal Shrouds and a Timber Ags for XG. That's a lot of tankiness to get through for a Zeus lineup that's primarily magic here.
Yeah. I think the downside of that fight for Xtreme was that Ame buying back did not get any of the last hits on the kills, and he needs his BKB really, really badly. Both after using that buyback, but also it helps him be out on the map and such. So that part is going to hurt in this little window where he's working towards the BKB but doesn't quite have it and doesn't have buyback. It's going to be very crucial. He cannot afford to get picked off anywhere because that'll just open the floodgates for Tundra to swarm into your base again.
The pipe is done. So that to me is maybe the biggest item in these recent set of items for Tundra. If Whitemon can survive with pipe and mech, hand of God just sitting in the back, that is where Chen thrives. This is a really good pipe game. Now XG still have the burst. They still have that potential to just cut through it. They can find the jump. Looking at the rune.
Fisher, Splitter, chaining the stuns. Toby's gonna come in with his blink. He's got BKB, but no black hole quite yet. He needs another 5 seconds for that one. Big Echo Slam, but immediate buyback. XXS on the front lines with his Aghanim Scepter. Wants Tundra to go on him while XM is low enough that he's got to get back. It is Topson running at him. Bear dude, he will not stop. He's just full on sprinting at XM, and he might actually catch up to him here. This lightning bolt hits XM. Oh, he leaps over the cliff right on top of XM and finishes him up.
Damn.
Topson had his mark from the get-go, and he wouldn't let anything stop it.
Dude, Octarine did so much work there. This heavenly jump, 10-second cooldown. Let them chase people down. Oh, they going too far.
Yeah, he went in too deep. They're going to have to use a black hole here. Go to work on the Timber Saw. Is that good enough, though? Pure, he's going to be dragged into the base a little bit here with his BKB expiring. He's blocked out and has his TP canceled. He is not getting out of that situation. Xtreme hold again.
That was with Ame pushing top all the way in, so he got a lot of farm off that time period. He was not involved in that fight and almost has BKB now. I mean, are these pushes good enough for Tundra's position? Feels like they're not making headway, given that they have the lead. See this fight again where, I mean, 9 class just gets taken out initially. The Echo Slam basically exchanges for the pipe mech here. So it doesn't end up doing much, but it takes those auras out on the second half of this fight. They're able to disengage. But yeah, Topson just running people down with Octarine Arcane Rune. He just had such low cooldown. Like, this leap cooldown was ridiculous here. XM does not understand what's happening.
Again, that chase started from the other side of the river. Topson, I could see Topson like make eyes with XM, and he's like, "I'm coming for you," and chased him down that entire way. Between the movement speed, 10% movement speed off of the Manta style, and then the 15 talent, and as you said, the Octarine, which means he's constantly heavenly jumping. He just has this near hasted movement speed at all times.
Often you get run at by the Zeus, but
yeah,
making it work. I will say Pure has looked pretty susceptible in these fights for how farmed he is. Like, he has this BKB period where, okay, yeah, he's killing a hero, and these base fights have been into buybacks, which are tough for him. It's very tough for a troll to just power through all that. But I honestly thought he'd be a bit more tanky with 3,000 HP and the Channel Wars behind him and some heals and Pipe War and all this. He just gets melted. And he's getting chain stunned by the Shaker. The Shaker's been more annoying than I think he had a right to be in this game. And this is a hero that still scales pretty damn well. It's Earthshaker.
Yeah. It's also a DY.
Good.
Right, the Enchantress, I think, is doing a lot of heavy lifting. And this is why Xtreme was able to win the tournament that they did in the first place, and why they have very good placements in most group stages that they play in. It's because they are able to find a way to play the map when they're down. So when these Western European teams, with the general European teams, you know, take the laning phase and take the first 20 minutes by storm, Xtreme knows how to rat out the map and get farm on all of their heroes, and DY is probably the best example of that. I mean, this Enchantress is fat, man.
The supports have found a lot in this game, and it's keeping them in it. That's what I was saying, like, triple Eternal Shroud here is going to be... It's going to be tough for Topson to find his mark. They have double Yules as well between the Lesh and Timber, so they're building into those late game Wind Wakers that are going to be really annoying for Pure. Like, they need a Nullifier soon, or they just need to end this game. Smoke on smoke.
Pure. Just casual 500 damage from the position 5.
You can poke this troll, but you don't want to commit on him. Shin-Q also doesn't want to give up his positioning.
Fisher split earth, hit from behind, Night Class hits the combination with the black hole on 2. Both supports are already dead for Xtreme. BKB goes out from Ame, trying to keep his distance from Pure. Pure, he pops his ultimate, once the ensnare, and he's got him. He throws out some damage, but he knows once the troll has him locked down, there's no way out of that one. And now they can turn back to the Timbersaw as XM tries to come in to help out XXS. Avalanche across the two of them, a toss up in the air. The Bloodstone trying to keep XM alive. A Yule Scepter goes out as well. XXS's Aghanims has run out. XM heals up a decent amount, but he just doesn't have the damage to stop these heroes. You said it. Whitemon sitting in the back, providing the heals, not letting anybody go down from the side of Tundra, while all of Xtreme fall.
Just black hole that makes that fight or breaks it, and Toby finds that opening. They had a really good position on that upper side of that tree line, flank the support. Jin-Q is trying to hide his positioning, but he has to stun this troll at some point, and then they find both supports with black hole. That fight's over. The second those supports are out, Pure has a way easier time. You can't ever gap close this Chen, and we saw how tanky this Lesh and Timber were. They can survive for a long time, but if all the other three are dead, it doesn't account for much. Tundra with really good target prioritization here. Not getting baited onto those frontline targets, finding the damage, finding the support, making their life easy.
Or staff forwards, but an Ogre Seal Totem back. Instead, they get the toss back on the Enchantress, who is trying to hop away. Thanks to the Sproink, will be able to do so. And DY's damage, it does add up over time, but he's trying to defend this without his cores. And they're not going to be deterred. They'll finish up this lane of barracks. Will they get caught, though, on the way out? XM hits the split earth on the 9 class of 4 staff, gets him over the ledge, and that final impetus isn't quite enough damage. XM really wants Tundra to turn back around and fight him. They need to get something out of this. They've lost too many objectives to just let Tundra walk away with no casualties. A Gleipnir catches Toby. BKB immediately going out. He does have Gem. 9 class thinking maybe he needs to go for a toss back. Not the case here.
Radiant's top tower.
They
is
spot a
under
high
attack.
ground ward, so they toss Toby away just to make sure that Xtreme doesn't find the initiation off that ward.
XG finally unable to hold this Chen onslaught as Whitemon has powered up Greaves' pipe online. I mean, the only thing they're missing really is
Top tower
Vlad's
is
here.
under attack.
They didn't do Roshan. I forgot that this started
Yeah,
around
they
the
just
Roshan
gave it
pit.
up.
And they won that fight so hard that they're like, well, we just go into their base. It means Xtreme have a chance to be able to take Roshan themselves. So they are going to be very grouped up for this. They have to do this very quickly. Otherwise, the Black Hole's going to come in and grab them all. Even with the Aegis, they may not win this fight. Let's grab the Aegis and the banner. Fisher goes out, blocking down 2. XXS puts himself on the front line with that Aghanim Scepter ready to go. XM chasing after these heroes. Need to have a catch. They're grouping up an awful lot. Toby, he has a Black Hole. He doesn't have BKB. So he doesn't want to go for it just yet. They got the pick off on the Tiny. Damage adding up on Pure, already down to half HP. Thunder God's Wrath being used, getting a little bit of vision. Toby still needs 15 seconds for the BKB, so they're just going to cut their losses. Leave the supports behind. Get the cores out of here. Xtreme, despite the very poor position that they are
Radiant's middle
in,
barracks are under attack.
managed to put this game in a
Radiant's middle
winnable
barracks is
territory.
full.
They are only down 7k net worth. The barracks situation is terrible for them, but they have an Aegis, they have a banner, which will help decrease some of the pressure here of the barracks.
Felt like Hunter just forgot the Roche was still there.
Yeah.
It's like, oh wait, we never did it, guys. We just took Raxus instead, and then by the time they try and go back there,
Bottom tower is
XG
under attack.
made the faster move. What a heads-up play. Gives them another chance in this game that they had no business getting. That was Tundra's Roshan through and through.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So now you have 4 minutes left on this Aegis to farm up, try and get another set of items. Could be big items.
They get to full out Daedalus. Ame gets closer and closer to that one-shot territory.
They're still looking for these Wind Wakers. They're looking for the refresher on the Shaker. These could, the Daedalus on the Clinks, those are all the huge items for XG, or if they get there, then this game it's winnable.
I just
Tundra
realized
missed
they
an
don't
opportunity.
have a Shivas yet with the Leshrac Timbersaw lineup.
Yep.
Leshrac's going back for the Shivas now.
I think the magic resist was more important than the armor here.
Radiant are
Yeah,
scanning.
that's fair.
Maybe a reason Pure didn't opt for that sort of hybrid build with a Maelstrom in it. He has enough lightning behind him. Man, I don't know, man. I feel like if you let XG get to these next few items, it does not look so easy in the fight. I mean, you do have double Black Hole now. That is something. But the front line has been insane.
Radiant are
Between these
scanning.
Eternal Shrouds, Yule Scepters, Bloodstones, Timbersaw Ags, there's still no Dispel on the side of Tundra. Like, I'm still waiting for this Nullifier to come out on somebody. I think it's needed here really bad.
Toss back into Pure. XXS take a lot of damage here, man. Pops his Aghanim Scepter, so that'll help him tank up a little bit more. See if he can get the blink away. They're trying to get through the shield to get the lockdown. They're putting some damage back on a Pure, but he shrugs it off, man, thanks to his Satanic, which he hasn't even activated. Just the lifesteal itself is shrugging off the damage from DY. Now they're trying to save DY's life. Get him out of here. Another Fisher and chance to try and slow down Pure. DY, can he get the Sprink over the high ground? He tries for it, but he doesn't quite make it.
And Pure is inevitable. Once this guy is on top, there's no going anywhere. Abyssal, Nets, super low cooldown axes. And is that going to open up the high ground push? There is buyback available for these heroes on the side of XG.
Radiant's top tower is under
They have
attack.
been very good at maintaining the proper resources for those to be online for these high ground pushes. And that Chivas is done for the Lestrak. So XM is kind of a frontline beast now. And still has this Aegis for 40 seconds. This is another high ground push that is not super straightforward here for Tundra, but they want to commit. They have the refresher on Topson.
XM, he wants somebody to go on him. Pure actually hits the satanic button there. He heals off of one of the creeps a little bit. Backs up to the high ground. They're going to wait out the Aegis.
And XM bought the shard to help with this base defense. Just sure it up a bit. Try and get Jinkyu to his refresher here, which would be huge. Increases the chain stun all-in potential. Double Echo Slam is a crap ton of damage. Cannot underestimate it. Especially with Shiva's amp going through. XG holding on. They continue to hold on to this game. As Chen pushes it to the limit. Aegis out.
They're going to get caught by a toss if they're not careful. They're going for Ame. Ame has to pop his BKB. Turn around. Gleipnir hits the Tiny. Need to punish Tundra for attempting this play. They need to be able to get this kill. So much HP, but XXS finally hits it with a Whirling Death, and that'll cut him down to size. Now they spotted Whitemon. A really good kill for them to get. And both supports end up going down. XXS chasing for more, though Topson's pretty damn fast. As we said, Octarine with Heavenly Jump and level 15 talent means that he is constantly 400 plus movement speed.
Off initiation, and they miss it slightly on the side of Tundra, and that's all it takes for XG to turn that back around against them. 2 more support kills. They continue to defend this high ground. It just cannot be broken completely here by Tundra. And that's going to be the refresher for GQ if he wants it here. Though he is also contemplating the buyback. Tier 4 neutral items also coming out. So that was kind of a bad time to die on the push, because now you're giving him entry to farm the map, get those up as fast as possible. Maybe some big ones here. Timeless Relic for the Lesh. That's huge. Here's looking for this 25 talent. Strong Dispel would be very nice in this game. Prevent any sort of shenanigans. And I mean, at the same time, XG, if you can get double Chakram up, get this Clinks to some more damage of his own.
Yeah, the level 25 talent on Clinks, I think is it's always overwhelming or underwhelming. When you go the multi-shot, you either are in a position where the multi-shot just destroys everybody in a team fight, or it doesn't really add any damage because you're just hitting one person.
I mean, the strafe one's definitely a more reliable talent. It's not a bad talent.
Which I don't even know if I like that. Like, a lot of times Clinks is so burst focused that I feel like getting a second strafe can also be pretty underwhelming.
The thing is, these fights are going on for a long time. There's a lot of sustain on Tundra.
Radiant
I feel like I'd probably take multi-shot, but I don't know. These 25 talents are always pretty weird on these heroes we don't see a lot. Hard to get a feel for what they exactly look like. Still have this double black hole threat, which XG you're gonna have to think about. Still have the toss back threat from the 9 class, and you still have Timeless Relic Zeus now with the Refresher Ag. So double Thunder God's Wrath, double Nimbus. All of this amped up by a Timeless Relic and a Phylactery. It's a lot of burst damage.
You could see why. Spirit Vessel on him, but they got the toss back on the Lestrak, straight into the Nimbus. Now we got off Bloodstone. He's being pulled out of position here. Pure's not going to be able to hit him with the melee forms. He's up the cliff, actually. Now a second black hole with the Wind Waker and Ghouls. The dodge dodges a lot of the damage here, but it's still a little bit of black hole. A toss up in the air. Oh, man. XM is still pushing through this, but finally Pure managed to get the cut down. But XXS, an Echo Slam in the back. Shinkyu, it's a double there. Can they push through this with the buybacks? Pure has to pop his ultimate. Leaning into the Timber Saw, trying to heal himself back up, and he can actually kill the Timber Saw with that damage and get away. But maybe not get away. A Fisher on 3 sets up XM to hit the Split Earth onto 2. He pushes to Whitemon, gets him. They just need to keep these heroes from being able to get away. Shinkyu blinked in past Pure. Wait, are they letting Topson and Pure get away? No way.
Fight on the edge for Tundra there as 2 black holes get out. This XM buyback just dissuades the follow-up, and you got to be thinking about this Roshan, because that Roshan, it's spawned. It's up right now, and if you're Tundra, can you afford to give it away in this game? But you don't have the black holes to contest it. And I don't know if you're winning these fights without the black holes anymore. XM is just way too tanky on the front line. He takes so long to bring down. Wind Waker came through clutch as well from XXS. Saved XM, which meant he could use his Yules to dodge that second black hole.
They gotta get some heroes here. They gotta back up this last track. Ame's finally here. You can start putting damage on the Roshan. But some heroes are respawning from Tundra. You know they're gonna contest this one. Thundergod's Wrath gets him some vision. Pure just goes for it, blinks in, but immediately a hurricane bike out of the cliff from Ame. They've kited out Troll. This Troll is dead, man.
Where was the BKB?
To go for the initiation, doesn't pop the BKB, gets kited around perfectly by Ame. It doesn't get much better than that. Night Class goes for a TP out, and Jinkyu misses the blind Fisher. So they will not get any more punishment, but they kill Troll and they get a Roshan.
And you know what the Troll says? He says go crazy, but
go crazy.
That was too crazy. It was too crazy, man. What was that play? I mean, XG just read it or what? Because they all backed out of the pit the second he went in.
Yep.
If he blinked straight on Ame, because Ame's in that pit, that play works out amazingly. But to not pop the BKB on that ult, commit in like that blind, they had the Zeus ult, so he saw a little bit, but XG just kited it out too damn well, and XM uses him, and then at that point, you have sunk your own ship. That is a 34k net worth hero that gets nothing done in a Roche contest. Another Aegis going the way of XG here. This game has just gotten out of control for Tundra. You now have the level 25 on Clinks. You have the level 25 Edict explosions on the Leshrac. 2 lives for XM, who's been invincible. The refresher coming back up for Jinkyu here. That is double Echo Slam online with the level 20 talent. I mean, XG have stalled this game out, and they have gotten to their late game damage. And this is where, yeah, you have a pipe, you have a Greaves, but it's not saving you anymore. The time for that push has come and gone.
With double Echo Slams and a lot more single target damage from XM, who's now level 25, so he's got the Diabolic Edict damage. Again, that like, what did I say it was? It was like an extra 800 or 900 pure damage over time when you get this talent.
Too.
He's Timeless Relic as well,
like 1,000
Kaya. Yeah,
it's a lot.
It's a ton. And so, and you have that double lockdown of the Echo Slam. Like, there's a real chance that anybody they initiate on gets no counterplay opportunities. Where
there's a chance
Xtreme
Enigma just dies in the black hole.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. You jump in and black hole his Lesh and he's edicting you. You get hit by some other spell damage. BKB is not just some 0 damage from spells anymore. It's you're still tanking it. So, and I feel like these black holes are, I mean, they're everything for Tundra now. Like Topson's damage is falling off. Pure is having trouble sticking on a target. He still doesn't have a nullifier in this game, which is, it's just insane. Like, I don't know how he can play the fights anymore into these Wind Wakers, into the Timber Ags, which still has value. Refresher Shard on XXS, by the way, so he potentially has 2 of those. It means you need these black holes to land. They have to find big core kills with double black hole on Toby. He has his Ags, he has a Timeless Relic of his own. These black holes hurt, man. They are massive.
Yeah.
They're gonna mess you up.
But there is the counterplay always for Xtreme. There isn't that counterplay for Tundra. Xtreme have all the Wind Wakers.
Exactly. They've been in this position before.
Like,
know how to use
down.
them.
9 class dodged it.
Pure on Ame.
Refresh. XM on a bunch of heroes, but Ame's in trouble. Ame gets away with the BKB invis, gets out of the hands of Pure ever so barely, while XM is going to work right now. He jumped onto 3 different heroes, hits the split earth onto 2, forces out the BKB on Toby's Enigma. Now they've only killed
got Ame in the base,
but looks like they got 9 class as well. They get him. Ame does die though. Got the toss inside. Ame gets picked off in what was looking like a free fight for Xtreme.
How did he even end up all the way over there?
I don't know.
Super aggressive move on the backside of that fight from Ame on very low HP because Pure got him low off the initial jump. Again, the lack of nullifiers is really hurting here as all these save mechanisms just stall out that Pure jump. They'll have 2 black holes up here. So XG, you gotta play it. You gotta play it safe. You do have an Aegis on XM for another minute.
Dude, XM, Bloodstone on the creep wave. XXS jumping in. Gotta be careful of these heroes grouping up too much. Do not want to get both your Wind Wakers black hold here.
Pure is living life on the edge, man. If you get that low, Xingqiu might pull the trigger and just echo slam you into the dirt. And your strong Dispel's not going to save you from the grave. As Tundra are now the ones getting their barracks siege. Topson is not doing anything anymore, man. There's too much magic resistance built up.
Oh, yeah. They constantly have maxed Eternal Endurance. The Eternal Shroud is maxed out at all times, and it's going to be a full lane of barracks. Now, is XM going to be able to get away here? Looks like they push back Pure and Wind Waker backwards. Pure's going to chase after him. Another Wind Waker available from XXS. Toby goes for the black hole on that one. XM, he has the Aegis. It's about to expire. 1 second left. It's expired. He gets off the Bloodstone. Another Wind Waker, but he couldn't get it off in time. He gets black hole before the Wind Waker could be used again, and now they're going to chase in XXS, but Ame's back into play. They've just jumped into a high ground with Xingqiu and Ame there for the punish. They don't have the Leshrac anymore, but they've got Big Daddy Ame here to try and clean this up. Pure takes a step to the Wisdom Rune instead of just getting out of here with DY peppering his steps the whole way as he gets back into the base. Xtreme will take and hold this fight. They will not get broken by that push out from Tundra, but they end on relatively even ground.
Still feels like XG is just continuing to make progress in this game. I just don't look.
Look at this damage, man. Look at this damage. He had to get saved by the Zeus. He tried to finish off with the Echo Slam. It wasn't good enough. Not quite. And now Pure, he gets the punish. Another Wind Waker going off XXS. XXS is in some trouble. He's got a Wind Waker of his own, trying to dodge, keep away from Pure. Pure's damage is ramping up, though. He's finished off one. Ame's in trouble. Turns around. BKB. Look at the damage raining in from the multi-shots, though. And now he's keeping his distance from Pure as well, while XXS is chasing after Pure. Pure doesn't have his ultimate. He only has a Satanic, but he has nothing to hit. He's getting kited around everywhere, man. He cannot touch any heroes.
The Wind Wakers are so problematic for Tundra. Where is the Dispel? Where is the ability to connect on a hero and finish him off? It takes so damn long. That was a refresher shard from XXS used just to get a second Wind Waker on himself, which unfortunately is what put Pure back onto Xingqiu there. Fortunate that he's able to finish that Shaker off. Otherwise, that fight is even worse. They get a single buyback out of XP, but pay for it with 2 of their own. And you're still waiting for these black hole cooldowns to come back up. But the problem is, if you're not making headway in the fights with these black holes, how are you ever going to get this next Roshan? And Xingqiu, he buys back, but he's level 25 now of his own. And these are strong talents for the Earthshaker, either one. He will take Aftershock AoE range.
Yeah, I think that's the right choice.
A massive talent in this game.
Oh man, Tundra, I mean, this game was theirs for the taking. They, once upon a time, had an 85% chance to win this game. When they were farthest ahead around 35 minutes, They had to feel like this game one was almost already over. Xtreme, though, classic hold. And look at this. Now they have the Aghanim Scepter from Ame with the multi-shots going out. If anybody gets a tar bomb on them, there are a lot of shots coming their way. A full lane taken once again. The game now fully in the favor of Xtreme.
Dude, this Clinks is insane now. He has Ags, he has Ancient Guardian for extra bonus damage. If he gets an army off, he gets a tar bomb, he throws out a barrage. It's just raining hellfire.
Yeah.
We saw that last fight Toby went in at the end.
Yeah.
Died in like 3 seconds. Even if you're black holing there, you might just die to all these random skeletons and edict and garbage on the ground. There's just so much nuisance to get around. And to me, the biggest factor is the itemization from XG. These guys are just so damn good at itemizing for the late game. Everything they build up works towards that focal point. Refreshers, Eternal Shrouds, Wind Wakers, Octarine Cores. And all of it has made Topson's life a nightmare. I've never seen a hero go 12-0 and 18 and feel so useless.
Yeah.
I mean, that is Zeus. Like, this hero just doesn't have itemization pathways to get around magic resistance. There's nothing Topson can do about it. He just has to accept that all of his damage is getting reduced by 76% across the board and try and power through it.
When you were saying that, 12-0, 8, I thought you were talking about the troll at first. Because it feels like both the cores are kind of countered by everything that Xtreme is rocking here, whether it's the Eternal Shrouds or the Wind Wakers, but they have an answer now in the Nullifier. It's just not going to be here fast enough to contest the Roshan.
Nullifier, it feels too little too late.
Yeah.
As Ame finishes his own, and it's another refresher shard for XXS, who will eat his Ags to free up the slot for it. And an Aeon Disc for Jin-Q now, so he is harder to commit on, though. Even more reason you need that Nullifier to go to work. And of course, the big prize here is the Aegis on XM. He's just an indomitable frontline for XG this game. Now he has 2 lives again. You're gonna need some heavy black holes in this late game.
Yeah.
And it feels like you gotta find multiple targets.
This is why we said, do not doubt the Ame Clinks, because it's not just Ame, it's Xtreme as a whole. They know how to push these games late when they get run over. Ame knows how to make this Clinks look like one of the scariest late game carries in the game. And they are team fighting beautifully around each other when elimination is knocking on their door. Trying to shut this out. Xtreme, get a Fisher onto the Zeus. Pick up if they can get it, hop away. Obi looking for his opening with a black hole. A Wind Waker gets one of those heroes out of there, but it's Leshrac in trouble. The Leshrac, the Aegis, but look at the damage coming in. Ame is doing so much. Tobe seeds himself with the Ethereal coming in from a Topson just in time. Pure goes for the TP out, nothing to stop it there. They kill Topson. They get 1 black hole out of Toby. A win for Xtreme, but not an overwhelming one.
He wanted 2 cores there. He only got the Lesh. XXS able to get out in time, and that makes all the differences. Yeah, you commit a black hole, but that's Aegis. Have to get out with everybody. That is Topson's first death of the game. He does have buyback. Managed to bail out his Enigma.
Fisher, a poke. Pure taking so much damage, man. Pure is gone. Now he has a buyback to play with. I guess he assumes, I've got to save the ultimate for my second life here, but
you better get something done with it.
Throw out the black hole. It only caught the Timber Saw here. More Yules up in the air. Okay, XXS does go down. Jin-Q jumps in immediately afterwards to try and finish off Toby. Hits him with the Echo Slam. YXM battling up against Pure. Pure just cannot do the damage. XM, he is indomitable. You can't. Oh, maybe you can bring down this guy. Oh, wait, he got it in the ethereal form. And Pure couldn't finish him off. And now XM does indeed. You just can't touch this Leshrac anymore. You can't stop him. You don't have the damage. You can't put Xtreme down. Not with their clings.